When we think about being more productive, we think about saving a lot of time and getting more work done. We think about saving minutes that add up to hours. But today, saving time one keystroke at a time. Hi, I'm Dave Edwards, and we continue our productivity series today with a review of Text Expander. I post these videos periodically, so please consider subscribing by hitting the button below so you don't miss any of them. It would mean a lot to me. Today's topic comes thanks to one of my subscribers who saw me recently share a video where I talked about the productivity apps that I use. I mentioned Text Expander, and my viewer asked me to talk more about it. Text Expander is a productivity app that uses keyboard shortcuts to automatically insert longer blocks of frequently used text. They call them snippets. Snippets can either be plain text, formatted text, and pictures, or a script. In this tutorial, I'm only going to look at the first two. So let's create our first snippet. Come up and I click the plus button, and now it takes me to this window. Whatever I type in this box will be the text that is recreated whenever I select a certain code. But before we get to that, let me show you a couple of little tricks that you can use. First of all, you can create different types of text. So plain text, as the name suggests, inserts unformatted text. Whatever you insert takes on the attributes of the surrounding text. So for most situations, plain text is what you want. However, you can also click on formatted text and pictures. Now, this is what you can do to apply formatting to the text that is kept when it's inserted. So you can also insert images. This is a great use for adding a logo or corporate branding to your email signature or to any document that you might write. Your other options are to create a shell script, Apple script, and JavaScript. But quite frankly, most people don't use these. Most people will use plain text. So let's see what our options are. Well, first of all, I can create an option. Let's say I want to create an option that prints my website whenever I hit a certain text. So there is my website. So now what I want to do is I want to create a label. The label could just be something as simple as my web address. This is only used for sort of filing your snippets so you can see them on the left side of your screen when you have a whole bunch created. But the most important thing is the abbreviation that you use. And this is rather critical because you want to make sure that you start with something that is rather unique. I tend to start my snippets with a character, like the slash mark. So I might write down web. I could make it that, web address. The reason why I don't like starting it off like this is because then any time I would start to type the letters W-E-B, it would want to insert that text. And obviously, I type probably the word web a billion times a day. So that's why I like to start with a slash mark. You could start with any character. I've known some people who just start with a Z, and then they type their abbreviation in here. However you want to do it is perfectly fine, and you can do that. Now, you've got a couple of other options here. You could also insert automatically a date, a year, a month, in any number of these different formats. So if for some reason I was creating a text and I just wanted it to say today's date is, I could then select January. I could then put the month and the year, and then obviously If you type this on any other day, it would automatically update the date in your snippet. You can also select the time in the same way. You can select it either in a 24-hour clock or in a 12-hour clock. You can do minutes or seconds, and you could designate AM or PM. If you want to add years, months, seconds, whatever, you can do that here. You could add characters. So if you wanted to put a space or hit the return tab before you would then be expected to type next, you could hit the return tab there. This is where your cursor would be positioned after you type in your snippet. This is whether you're using a single space or multiple space. You can also have a tab added to your snippet as well. So just to show you how this works, so now I've of course set up snippets that work for me. Now if I'm writing you an email or a letter, or I'm creating a document, and I want to include my email address, yes, I could type it, but I find that I would type it so many times a day. It's just much easier for me to use Text Expander and type. And as you can see, I typed the snippet, DEM mail, for Dave Edwards Media Mail, and it automatically typed my email address. So now let's say I want to type in my web address, which is another thing I type quite regularly. I type the snippet, DEM web, and it has typed my web address. I mean, literally, you can use this to do any number of things. One of the things that I like to do is sometimes if I'm drafting a document and I just want to add some generic text, I don't know if you've ever heard of Lipsum text, but it's just kind of a placeholder for adding text. So if I type /LYP, it will just add some generic text as a holding place for the document that I am working on. Often you'll realize that while you're working, there's something that you type would make a great snippet. The fastest way to create one is to select what you want to be in the snippet and then copy it to the clipboard with a Command-C. Here are some of the latest additions to Text Expander. Snippet Suggestions makes it even easier to notice and create snippets from frequently typed words and phrases. This means creating a new snippet takes just a few clicks. Improved conflict management means the snippet you want to expand will be the one that expands. The app now shows how you can resolve your conflicts with your snippet abbreviations and a clear and easy to use interface. And Text Expander 7 also features an upgraded search feature to help you find the right snippet faster. Now, here are some other cool things about the program. You can access your snippets on all your devices, any device that has Text Expander installed. You can pick who can edit your shared snippets. And the program is available in different languages: English, French, German, Italian, Japanese, Russian, Spanish, and Portuguese. Text Expander is something that I use many times a day. Now, there are other similar programs like Keyboard Maestro, or you could also just write your own macros. But for me, I couldn't be happier with Text Expander. It's not a free program, but I think it's very reasonably priced given what it does. You can try Text Expander for free for 30 days. As of right now, you can get access to the program for as low as about $40 a year. Finally, this is not a sponsored video, so I feel good about recommending it to you. Now, in case you haven't heard, I have many more productivity tips to share with you. They're all in my new course, Pathway to Productivity and Time Management. It covers everything from controlling your calendar and managing your to-do lists to avoiding distractions. You can find more information on my website, daveedwardsmedia.com. Click on courses, take a look at it. I think you'll be glad that you did. Hey, I'm going to be back with more soon. If you've got questions that I can answer in future episodes, just post them below. I'm Dave Edwards. Thanks for joining me today.